The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals has granted a stay of execution to Robert Roberson. This is a man who's been on death row here in Texas for decades at this point, having been wrongfully accused of having killed his infant daughter under a very entirely discredited theory of shaken baby syndrome. This is the idea that you could shake an infant to death, which is just not something that actually happens, has now been proven false. But the machinery of death was still grinding forwards. No one seemed to be willing to stop his execution, even though the state's theory had been completely discredited. Fortunately, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals stepped in using Texas's junk science law. This is a law that was passed last decade. And they basically remanded the case to the district court, to the trial court, for them to review Roberson's guilt or innocence based on the Court of Criminal Appeals finding in a case called Ex parte Rourke. This is a case where, another shaken baby case, where the Court of Criminal Appeals actually overturned that conviction, sent it back to the trial court for a new trial, because they similarly found in that case that the shaken baby evidence on which Rourke had been convicted was not scientifically valid, was not compelling, was not sufficient to put someone to death. So this now goes back to the trial court. Roberson's case, the execution will not go ahead, which is great news. It was only 6 days away, so the machinery of death has temporarily been stopped, and the case will go back to the trial court, where they will then review all of the evidence that Roberson's lawyers have since brought in about, discrediting that state's evidence at trial around shaken baby and showing that what actually happened was, a tragic death, an accident. The daughter was very sick, unfortunately, and there was no violence committed here, there was no murder committed. So this is great news for Roberson, great news for people, even if you believe in the death penalty but don't believe it should be applied to innocent people, and you think we need to stop the rush to judgment, the rush to execution when there are plausible claims of actual innocence. So I'm very pleased to be able to give this update, and many congratulations to Roberson's legal team and everyone that's been involved, advocating, calling the governor's office, and doing all of those things to draw the attention not just of the state but really of the entire world to this case. It just shows that it can make a difference, and you really commend the Court of Criminal Appeals for using Texas's junk science law as it was intended when it was passed to secure this outcome. We go back to the trial court now. It's not over when it's over. I'll update you when we know more, but for now we can rest easy a little bit. The execution of Robert Roberson has been stayed for now.